Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Good evening, we can hear you, but I think you have to be audible or get closer to your device.
Yeah. So, well, I'm making this presentation from the group starting Lagos traffic. Just hoping I would have been home before then, but then we will still be able to make the time we have. So, first thing first, I would like to appreciate the same team for this privilege, this opportunity to make this presentation. As I was given 15 minutes to make the presentation, then a question and answer section for people who would want to ask questions. Um, okay, be making a presentation briefly on my experience with regards to grad school. I would say I'm a novice on this because yeah, I'm a scholar currently, and I'm hoping to resume ending of this month, first week of September. So I'm just going to share my experience of how the entire process went, and of course, key things that people should look out for. And of course, definitely, I would not fail to make mention of the contributions of mentors and, of course, the Cube mentorship platform. I would also be ending with that. So, first thing first, I would start by um, saying that preparation is actually key. A person who has a foresight will, of course, it's, these things don't just come easily. They are not. It's not luck like that. As I say to some of my friends and folks around, I tell them that starting an application and finishing it is actually ability to say it is key. For you to open an application, begin an application, start it, register first. Let's say create an account, then go through the entire process and finish it and click on submit. You really need to take yourself out for a drink or go have fun somewhere because it's really tasking. And of course, anybody who's going to put in such kind of an effort is supposed to be willing and ready for whatever um, obstacles might come on the way. So, like I mentioned, preparation is key. Early preparation, I would say. For me, this has always been a plan. It has always been a vision, right from the university. It was I think the whole process started around 2020 during COVID when we were all at home trying to learn several skills and all that. As at then, they were privileged to enjoy or listen to several countless webinars flying everywhere, free of charge. The ones that were free, the ones that were paid for, learning different things. That was when I first had my scholarship book, where I began to list down scholarships, both local, likes of PTDF, likes of Shell, likes of LNG, then the international, DAD, Nexit, Orange, Erasmus, and all those scholarships I began to write. Then after that, I started writing what is the thing that this one has and this one doesn't have? What is needed here and what is needed here? That's when I began to streamline. So okay, I think I could get through with this, and I think I'm not able to get through with this. What are the countries of choice that I might be willing to go into? What are the programs that I would be very much interested in going to? Of course, you would not like to just go and study a course for, let's say, 5 to 3, 5 years, 2 years, and not enjoy it, not make any sense. So the entire process started since then, right? So coming towards my graduation year, I already knew what's next, right? So I didn't even wait to like, unlike other people who would want to say, okay, I'm not joining this badge of
Sorry,
NYSC, for next badge. I
sorry,
think I'm creating.
Tomo.
I need timing. I had already
Hello,
calculated it. I need the next badge is what I needed to go into with.
hello, sorry. It
And
seems there's a
yes, I
background
did that.
noise. It seems there's a
And yes, I
background.
did that. Right. So
Can you hear me?
immediately I was doing my NYSC. I had to start applying for transcript. I had to start applying for transcript.
Everyone is actually muted, Doc. I think the noise is coming from the speaker, so I've muted him, and I'm going to. I hope he's hearing me. So there's a background noise coming from your device. So please, I don't know if there's a way you can help us to change your spots and so as to prevent the noise. I'm going to ask you to unmute now. I've asked you to unmute.
Can anyone hear me? Just realized I was muted.
There's still noise. There's still noise.
About that. Can I go on?
There's still noise. We can still hear the noise. Is there a way you can change your spots? Because the noise is more than your voice actually. So we are hearing more of the noise than your voice. I've asked you to unmute.
How about now, please?
We can still hear the noise. The noise is still audible.
The noise is still audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, can't my own dollar. Yeah, they never collect.
Okay, in that case, thank you, Doc. So I will just have want to get a report from all cluster leaders now from cluster 1 to 20. And thereafter, Doc will do the assigning of cluster coordinators for each for the clusters. Then we have okay, by then we'll be able to come back to the speaker. Doc, do I go on with calling up the cluster leaders from starting from cluster 1?
Maybe let's go through Victor, then we can go through the cluster leaders.
Okay.
I'm not going to say cluster leaders. So every person here that is in any cluster would give us update what is happening in their cluster, okay?
All right, that's.
But maybe let's go first to Victor. I think Victor wanted to share something from what you said.
Yes. So Nirosa, over to you. I'm asking you to unmute.
Okay. Thank you very much once again. Thank you, Doc. Good evening, everyone. I hope we all had a great week and we're relaxing because of the weekend. So, with respect to the collation of a list, the spreadsheet, concerning our preparation for the fall 2025 US graduate school applications. We spoke, I presented to us last week about an idea and a strategy that kind of I came up with, and I think it looks or seems, let's say, feasible and proactive, and we say something that will most likely be productive in a way if we all take it very seriously. So I explained it, but I think some persons weren't on the call last week. Some persons did not understand, and I was getting even on my DM on how to go about it. So I wish we were more than this. I don't know if this is all of us here. So I would just go over it again because I think just a few people kind of understood what is going on there. So I don't know. I wish many of us were present here, but I think I'll just go ahead. And maybe please call us maybe after the call, maybe we could see how we could save this link or keep it somewhere. I mean the recorded version of it so that we could share it to the group for those who are not present to maybe go through it again. So I will just share my screen. Okay, I'm just told that host disabled participant screen sharing. Could you help me with that, please, Collins?
Okay, I'm going to fix that. I'll make a post. You should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So I will just yes, share my screen. Let me see from here. Okay. Please do let me know if you can see my screen.
Okay, we can see it.
Okay, good. So I will just go rush through this again and yes, so please I want to be sure that you can see my screen. Can you notice any change in the like I'm changing from one tab to another?
It's blurry. The screen is blurry. I don't know if
Yes, maybe you can
my
just increase the like zoom in.
Okay, so I think what you can also zoom from if you're using a phone, you can also zoom from your phone as well. I'm zooming from here too. I've just done that, but I want to be sure if I'm trying. Switching between tabs. So I want
Yes,
to be
we
sure.
can see that.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, so I think we are on track. So thank you, Doc. So now the aim of this, I'll just be blurring some people's names, but just to put this. So the aim of this sheet is to, or let me start with more like as though I'm writing this is a scientific paper. So now over the years, many of us have been applying to several graduate school applications. Many of us know Harvard, University of Alabama, Ohio State University, Iowa State University. Many of us know most of these schools. If I say she just call like 30 schools, many of us can mention the most common ones. But in the US, there are over 500 universities. Like there are so many schools in the US, and there are most of them, of course, majority of them, especially in the sciences, and also other fields too, have funding. In fact, there are also business schools, so you don't have to. They're even very like good business schools. I know, like Pulse Business School (HBS), that one can go to and take an MBA, right? Very good school, but and this many of these schools also have funding. But I think the problem we have, and I think I've observed, even with myself too, is that we don't know these schools. Not as though not as though they don't exist or they don't advertise, but it seems like what we see on the, will I say, on the media space more often, like on WhatsApp groups, on almost all the spaces we find ourselves, is all these big schools, University of Delaware, University of California, Colorado. But some of us don't know University of Hampshire, or maybe University of New Jersey, or maybe New York State University or something. And these schools do have funding for, and possibly would have funding for your program. And one could say is applying this year, is applying next year, and is not getting or it does not offer. Meanwhile, there's a space or a seat waiting for you in another school that has the money. So in order to deal with this, there's a website where we have most of us know the website for ICU, where you have all the 50 states in the United States of America, and each of these states is kind of clustered, containing the various universities. Like Alabama State, you have all these schools like here, but some of us don't even know Troy University. Some of us don't know University of South Alabama. So most of us just know, no, University of Alabama, but we don't know South Alabama. And it's possible that what you're looking for could be in this school. So the aim here is to see how each of us in the camp is going or are going to explore each of these states, each of the universities that concerning with respect to our interests, right, or the area of the field we want to go into. And there's possibility that you could find your school of interest or maybe your program of interest in some of these schools that you've never seen before. And like we did last week, we did an exercise last week where some of us, I asked us, okay, could you write down some of the schools you know in the US that maybe you intend to apply to? And I can bet I could remember vividly 98, if not 99% of us were mentioning schools that all of us like regularly know. I think I just only found like one or two schools that I think we don't regularly hear of those schools names, like at least among ourselves. So even me, I think I've been following this US process for some time, for more than almost 4 years now. And I can tell you some of the schools I saw while doing this exercise on a personal level. I've not seen them before. You just heard this. I'm seeing them this year. So I found it very interesting for us to see how we can, well, I say, delve into this exercise and search through each state, look out for some of these schools, at least say around the top 10 schools of each state or top 20, depending on the number of schools in each of the states. Because like you have it here in Alabama, you have 27 universities. In Arizona, you have 8. Of course, the numbers you're seeing in front of the states are corresponding to the number of university higher institutions in those states. And please, just before I go further, I think somebody once asked me, is there a day that he or she wanted to apply to a college, and the person said, don't apply to a college, apply to university. You see, will I say, segregation we're trying to create, I think it's as a result of what we understand back, or what we've understood from our knowledge back home. You have Albert Einstein College of Medicine. It's a university. It recently got a huge funding. I think sometime last year. Some of us must have seen the news. I think early this year or so. Must have seen the news all over. Yeah, just early this year. Some of us must have seen the news all over. Like there was a generous donation of in billions of dollars. These are universities that some of us don't actually apply to. So don't start separating between college. Yeah, of course you have to delve deeper. Don't listen to what people say. Delve deeper to see, okay, is this a college like, I don't know, a college, or is it a higher institution like a university as well? Some of us know Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, RPI. That's also a university. So don't use your understanding of Nigeria to come and judge what you are seeing here. I'm not saying you should drop what you understand from Nigeria, but it is not what it is like we know it back home. You understand? So try to be open-minded to see things from their own part and not from your own part alone. So yeah, so this is what we intend to do, to explore each of these states here. And by doing that, we decide to create a spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet is titled, some of us will see it, the Camp US Fall 2025. And so I'm just trying to shift something. Okay, good. 2025. And here what you have to do, first of all, if you notice below the bar here, let me see if I can zoom. Below the spreadsheet here, it has been separated into 4 categories. So you have the natural sciences, you have the physical sciences, you have the social science, and you have the arts. I believe you all know the area your fields or your area of interest falls in. So of course, for the natural sciences, you have the chemistry, the biology, the physics that may relate to life. So anything that has to do with life sciences, yeah, will most likely for the natural sciences. I saw some people trying to write engineering. Please try to observe before you start putting things into the sheet, right? Just when you come on board, observe the sheet first before you start writing anything. Because I saw some persons writing their engineering program or interest in natural sciences. That should not be. I had to start doing this rearrangement myself. So be observant. Of course, physical sciences has to do with engineering. So you should know where to put these things. So just to ensure that things are well organized, right? So what you should do, of course, when you come in here, is to, of course, first of all, write your name. Of course, like you have it here, like everyone is doing that. You put the course or the program you're interested in applying for, like you have it here in this natural sciences, PhD plants, breeding, whatever, or PhD microbiology. Yeah. Now, with putting this, identifying your course or program here is for a purpose. It also brings to consciousness what you are pursuing and not just ransacking the university for any program. No, it helps you to be guided as well, and also helps us to know what you are looking out for, and also gives an idea of maybe someone in the future going through these sheets, a campite in the future going through these sheets, to say, oh, I think I can find microbiology. It is most likely in the main spreadsheet, which I will show you in a couple of seconds. You know, could most likely have programs relating to any of these courses. So yeah, so it's important to highlight the course or program you you intend to apply for. And of course, why I had to put area of interest or research interest is that, you see, I think some of us are just doing this thing for the first time. And from what I've observed so far in this whole graduate school application abroad, I noticed indeed, like we know it is not like the way we see it back home. Oh, I studied biochemistry, so I should go and do masters in biochemistry. Not really. You need to be very open-minded to really get like what area, because in their own, like from their own understanding here, they see it as maybe an area of interest or a research interest or a scope, a particular scope, right? So it's important to have that defined. Like you can see someone here, this person wants to do something on plant breeding and genetics and is looking into plant breeding for biotics and abiotic stress. In just plant breeding and genetics, it's a very broad field on its own. So you want to try to streamline it. So it also guide your finding. At the same time, don't tie yourself to a transformer and say, we'll die here. No. Be open-minded to some areas that, you might find interesting. Let me give an instance now. Somebody here who wants to do something on PhD agricultural economics and agribusiness, right? Now, the person wants to do something on maybe food security, open-minded to agribusiness, climate change. So you don't have to go and say if it's not antimicrobial resistance, I cannot do any of that thing again. No, you have to be open-minded. So you see somebody here wanting to go for MSc or PhD in epidemiology to do something on infectious diseases or cancer. Infectious disease and cancer, they're not the same thing, but in some researches, there are some interrelationship depending on the pathology. So this can go. So try to be open-minded to say, okay, if it's not this one, it is this one. So it will also guide your search for potential faculty members in universities when you are doing your own search, and from there. Now, this is where your work stops on this particular sheet. And that also applies to other sheets like the natural sciences, physical sciences, social sciences, and arts. I think we need more art people. I don't know. I know some of us, we are here, but maybe we're not aware of what is going on in this development. So, yes. Now, this is where your work stops, at least for now, right? On filling this particular spreadsheet. Now, you don't have to assign states to yourself. This will be done from the back end. So you just have to revisit the spreadsheet to see what state has been assigned to you. Now, this is just to keep it organized. However, as you move further, as you develop in moving from like now, assuming I'm the first person here and I want to check for Alabama, so I just in progress, then I go to University of Alabama, or sorry, you go to this link here before ICU, right? You click on Alabama, like you have it here. Then from there you start exploring the states. Now let's explore this one together as an example. Now I want to do something on plant breeding and genetics, something around plant breeding and of course, remember, it's a graduate program. Remember, you have to update this to in progress. That is, something is ongoing already, something is already in the pipeline. Then you move to the spreadsheet, you click on the states that you've been assigned to. You start exploring from the first university, of course. In this is University of Alabama. So I could just move and type University of Alabama. Now, a technique I often use, rather than just typing University of Alabama, no, I would also add University of Alabama graduate program, just to streamline myself and make it easier for me, right? And this is in the University of Alabama. Most times it comes up like the top list, right? You know, when where Google helps to sort out your search. So you click here, graduate school. Then from there you have to now start navigating through the website. You know, will I say depending on the university's website, will I say you have to see how you can sort out your search. You get the point, so that you will know, because the way, like, let me give you an instance. Now, this is graduate school for University of Alabama, right? Good. Sometimes you just have to try and play around. Some people say, okay, how do I now know where the graduate programs are? So you may not, you know, the way it is for University of Alabama may not be the same thing as University of Michigan, right? So just try to see how you can play around. Let's check this place. Got it. This is okay. Applicants, admission requirements. So you just see how you can play around here to find the programs. You know, okay, this is you have explore 150 graduate programs. Okay, this is most likely what the programs are. But also take note, because we're also going to need this area that has to do with admission requirements. But let's move from here, because some programs have their requirement to be specific to the program and not like the general one that has to do with the university. So yeah, this is it. So you can start exploring from here. This is for University of Alabama. And say, okay, that other person wants to do plant breeding and genetics. Now, some programs, let me just highlight this, some programs or some research interest or area of scope of interest may not necessarily correspond to the program's name. Let me say some, like, of course, it's a likely kind of program where I would see plant genetics and all of that would be in PhD biology, right? Like you can see, I mean, I'm trying to say from my experience so far. So chemistry, or depending, so you have to just do your start and be open-minded, because I think most of these universities you can apply to more than two programs, more than one program rather. Like you can say, okay, apply to PhD in biology, University of Alabama, say apply to PhD in chemistry, University of Alabama, stuff like that. So try to be aware. If you're not sure, always send an email to maybe the admissions to confirm. They are always active and ready to respond to you. So please, for me, it's good to ask in the group chat, but I always advise to hear from the horse's mouth, right? So you know that you're getting authentic information and not a hearsay. So this is on your school search. Now let's get back to the sheet as a round off. So when you now realize that you have done this, like as you can see here, you can easily tell those who are already making progress. This is somebody here, this person already does up to neurobiology, already searching for this school. This person is on Maryland, already on SAR. This person has proven to me that he or she has completed her search or his search on Michigan, like the entire state of Michigan, right? And is either you found something there or not. You can easily know from another spreadsheet, which I will show you in a couple of minutes. So I will show you somebody that is already making significant progress. I'll just keep the name one side. This is someone that intends to pursue something on master's in building construction or construction engineering or master's in interior architecture. And from her own search, I will use her as an example, because she has really done very well and she's making very fast progress. This is building information modeling and all of that. For Alabama, she has completed. Alaska, she has completed. Now, it is fine when you're searching, you may not even see your program in the entire state, in any of the universities in the entire state. It's fine. So at least you are confident that, okay, this state too, there's nothing there. I have to move on. So she has completed. I know that she found one or two in Alabama, but she did not find at all in Alaska, if I remember. And she has completed for Arizona. She has completed for Kansas, and she's working on California and Colorado. She has completed for Connecticut, and she has completed for Delaware. So I will show you on the other spreadsheet. This also applies. Like once you finish, you just have to keep checking to see when your spreadsheet has been updated. So initially she started with this. By the time she came online again, that's already been updated like that. So you keep being updated, like you just have to be checking. You don't have to disturb anybody. So once you have filled your name, your state has been assigned to you, you move to another category of spreadsheets. Now, remember the first set are this one, natural sciences, physical sciences, social science, and art. This one just to fill your name. and get your state assigned to you. That is part one. Now I have identified my state. I have started searching for university. I have seen the program of interest and the area of interest I want to explore in that school. Now I come to this spreadsheet. This on that spreadsheet, I termed it the NS sheet. This NS sheet is for the natural science sheet. This one is for the PS sheet, of course, physical science, like that, social science sheet, SS, and ES, arts sheet, right? So you just come here. I've presented for you here a demo on how you can fill in the spreadsheet here. I will give you an instance of somebody from the physical sciences who is already making significant progress. Like I told you, the person who is doing something on building, something science, construction. I think she didn't see anyone in Alabama, but she saw in Arizona, as you can see, Arizona State. And she wants to primarily, I think, go for MS, Masters. And yeah, so she found for Masters in Building Science, Interior, as you can see here, and you need to put everything together and say, okay, is GRE required? Yes, no. Is West required? Yes, no. TOEFL, no. You can see, I didn't even know. I don't know. I'm surprised that TOEFL is not needed. Yeah, this is interesting to know. And the minimum CGPA is 3. That is 3.0 on a 4.00 scale. 3.0 on the 4.00 scale. So you can easily check this on the unofficial West website and convert your own to know the scale at which you fall in. You can see unofficial, so it means you can even use your unofficial transcript to submit. The application fee is $50, so you just know, okay, you prepare your mind. And the deadline is April 1st. That is next year. So then you just have to put up a link of the requirements page and maybe some other extra links like for faculty members and all of that. So this is how to go about it. You just have to search, go to the requirements, admission criteria, or specifically, like I said, some programs have their own specific requirements. So when you get to the program website, this is PhD biology, for instance, they have the deadline. So you just explore. This is the one for PhD biology. From this one is easy, so I can easily just start filling the other spreadsheet from here. Yeah. So I can start filling the other spreadsheet from what the information here, putting them together. And now, if you notice here, this gray sheet here, these gray columns here have been highlighted for you not to fill them. Now you can get this and put it together on, if you have your own personal or private sheet, right? You can have that there and fill it there for yourself. You don't have to do it here because all of us cannot be working with the same professors or the same have interest. So have that on your own private. I encourage each and every one of us to do this because it will make your work way easier, especially for the writing of your SOP and highlighting the professor or the faculty member you want to work with. For some of you that don't know what faculty member is, they're talking about the professors. So you can even see faculty on the website. It means the professors in that department or in that program. So it's important to know some of these technologies. So yeah, so this also applies to, so you can see somebody else here, or maybe I don't know whether she's the same person. Yeah, I've never seen this university before. This is Central Connecticut State University, and they offer masters in construction management. So wow, this is interesting. So I never ever expected that. I know the person that filled this, but I never expected that she'd be interested in something like this, construction law and estimation. So this is Colorado State University, so University of New Haven. So I think I've heard this before. So this is how it's fun doing this because you get to discover schools that are doing the programs you are interested in. And this is, to be honest, I encourage anyone that wants to apply to the US for 1425 to take this as a challenge. This is somebody for the natural sciences, Michigan State University, Oakland University, PhD for environmental chemistry. The person doesn't need GRE, so you can see, you don't have to spend huge money. There's some platforms, some groups you go to, they say, if you don't write GRE, you cannot get offer in the US. Please don't debunk that statement. It depends on the program. It's program specific. So this is GRE is not required here. West is not required. TOEFL is not even required. In fact, TOEFL in this one, which school? Wayne State and Michigan, is not required specifically for Nigerians too. 3.0, official, unofficial. So these are things. In fact, come and see, Michigan only is $10 for email this person to correct it. $10 for application fee. So these are things you need to, this is how to go about it. And you can, like, of course, a column here was created on this one faculty member page where you can just easily access the whole faculty members. But if you want to be specific on faculty members, you have to do that yourself, please, on a private level. So that is it for here. I don't know if anyone has any question, so I can pause here. If I hope I wasn't too fast and ambiguous in a way.
Victor, just quick one before others jump in with their questions. Again, I think this is a very, very fantastic idea. And I feel it's a kind of co-responsibility, right? I see it also as a way of making sure that everybody has something in the, as a contribution to making their US dream happen by also making it happen for others. So I expect everyone that is applying to the US to participate in this. I just wanted to check with you if you have some timeline, because I imagine if you tell people to do it at their free will, then it might not really be helpful because, again, just asking, do you have timeline? Are you giving these people some time to get their own task completed?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, though. This is a very important question, and I think this was the first thing I considered, because just like you go to a church of 100,000 members and everybody, you have your feet in your hands. So I just feel like it's more of how serious you want to take this, right? It's your destiny. If you can keep complaining from now to tomorrow, if you don't do the work, if you keep just life follow. However, from the plan I had in mind, like I mentioned last week Saturday, I said that if one can, or if we can be able to achieve, like, fill up this as much as possible and get it, like, compile this on or before the end of this month, then it will be so great for many of us who have been consistent in doing this to be able to start sending cold emails by next month, September. You can send code mails this month, but I wouldn't advise because now many of them are coming back from summer break, some are summer break. Fresh graduate students for the fall 2025 just entering, admins, like everybody's busy on fresh students and trying to resume school in a way. So by September, I expect that most of them will be kind of relaxed. So by doing this and being religious about it, on or before the end of this month, you should have been done with this. I have my own personal spreadsheet that is not here. So I'm only trying to share with us what I do in my own closet, right? So my own is already getting filled up already. So I know that, oh, by next this, I have to apply for this, or this person I'm following up has to apply to. This is something that I feel it's in your own hands as someone that want to take this serious. However, my own plan is that what I have in mind is strictly, let's see how we can do this on or before the end of August. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So any question, please? So I'll be sure that if everything is clear with all of us. Okay, I think no question. So thank you very much, and hope everyone gets it clear, and wish you all the best. Filling the application, you're filling the sheet. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Colin.
Okay, thank you so much, Sergio, for the clarification.
Okay, I think someone is asking.
Okay.
Nazir or Imran said, how do we access the link? Yeah, of course. It's on the group chat. I sent it today, this evening. So I think I'll just put it again. If you just check on the group chat, in the general DKM group page. So if someone could also help to send that. It's
okay.
You don't need any password to get it, so it's free access to everyone to edit.
Okay, so you can stop sharing now as we move on.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I think the first speaker is still currently in a very noisy environment, which may result to us maybe shifting his presentation to maybe next live section. So we'll just go on with the clusters updates now. So please, if you're on this call and you belong to any of the clusters from cluster 1 to 20 and you want to give us an update, either a cluster leader or not, or just a member, just signify by raising up your hand. I'll ask you to your mates, and then you give us an update in 30 to 40 seconds. So I expect to see many hands up now while I be calling us up one after the other. And I believe that everybody on this call belongs to a cluster. And I'm also saying in the chat box that some people are still complaining that they don't have a cluster yet. And I think Doc has resolved that. So if you don't have a cluster up till now, it means you have not indicated that you did not fill your name in the list that was later sent to the group to be filled up. So that might result to having a cluster anytime soon. But Doc will have the final say on that. So Doc,
Yes, so for this evening, what we are going to do is we are going to start from cluster 1. Okay. So we are going to start from cluster 1. But before doing that, Collins, could you drop the link of the DKEM t-shirt and hoodie on this group so that everyone in this meeting should take a second or two to fill that that survey, because we need to finalize still this week those that are interested, and we make a decision on how to get them. I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull our DKEM at 5, say by mid of September, so we don't have a lot of time. Okay. The link, I shared the link in the group. If you could just take it and paste it here so that everyone, I see we are like 50 in the group now. And I heard it's only like 19 people that had filled it as of afternoon. So let's make sure we do that ASAP. Then for the cluster activities update, I'm going to assign cluster coordinators. If you're in the meeting and you are interested to be a cluster coordinator, please just indicate in the chat. In the meantime, let's start from cluster 1. Anybody from cluster 1, please. Collins, I'll leave you to manage the rest, but just ask through if anybody in any cluster should tell us in 1 minute what they have been doing.
all right, Doc. And I've just dropped the link in the chat box. So everyone, please go ahead and fill it out. Thank you so much. So please, can we have hands up? Then I'll ask you to unmute to give us updates about the cluster. And if no one is raising up hand, I'm just going to start by calling the first person on my list as I'm able to see.
Just
Okay,
start
we
from
have
cluster 1. Ask anybody in cluster 1 to volunteer, then cluster 2, so that we don't miss any cluster. There are 20.
cluster 1, please. Cluster 1. If you're in cluster 1, please. If you're not in cluster 1, I don't know if Daffy Ensign is in cluster 1, but right now I want to take someone from cluster 1. So I'm just going to ask Daffy to unmute. I assume he's a cluster 1 member. So I'll ask you to unmute.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, Doc. Confirm you can hear me.
Yes, please. You can hear that and clear.
Okay, so basically, nothing concrete has been happening yet for cluster 1, but we've done a brief introduction on a brief, just hey, hi, meet and greet kind of situation. But for something concrete yet, so we are still at the intro stage. So we're looking at in a couple of days or weeks to come. Activities will start booming up that cluster, but for now, as it stands, I stand to be corrected, but nothing concrete has been happening.
Okay, please, do you have your cluster leader on your group already?
I wouldn't know who that person is now, but let me go back to the master list check, then run it by the house. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. So please, let's have cluster 2, someone from cluster 2. Please, if you're in cluster 2, just raise up your hand. I'll ask you to unmute. Cluster 2 people, please, where are you? Cluster 3, can I have cluster 3? Do we have someone from cluster 2 or cluster 3? Cluster 4. Please raise up your hand if you're in cluster 2. I'll ask you to unmute. I see someone dropping in the chat room that cluster 2. Okay. I'm asking to mute.
Hi, I'm Latifa Olajumoke from Cluster 2. Though I'm not the cluster leader, I see no one is answering, that's why I answered. Yeah. But we've not done anything like apart from we just joined and introduced each other, that's all.
All right. Can we have cluster 3? Please, if you are not talking, you can do what you need to put down your hands. Cluster 3, cluster 4. Okay, I'm asking to unmute now.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Nazir Imam, and based on the list of the clusters, I'm the cluster leader for Group 4. And basically, and frankly speaking, we have not done anything. Recently, one of the group member called my attention to the fact that some cluster members are still not in the cluster. So, and for the past 2 days, I actually switched to a new device, so I lost some of my messages, but I'll try to get the cluster list to see who are those members that we are still missing in the cluster and find my way to adding them to the cluster group so that we can start properly interacting and making progress. So that is where we are now.
Okay, thank you for the update. So can we have someone from cluster 5? I think the last person is from cluster 4, but we have not heard from cluster 3 at the same time. So can we have cluster 5? Okay, that's good to hear from cluster 1 and the group leaders in the group. Can we have cluster 5, cluster 6? It seems you don't have people from this cluster. Cluster 7? Okay. Yeah, I think a favorite is from cluster 5. So I'm asking to
Okay, good evening, everyone from here. Thank you, Collins. For cluster 5, I joined cluster 5 group. I was not initially in the group, but then when I joined using the link, I just communicated to the team whether this was the original cluster 5 group. I just wanted to know whether I was in the right group. But then I think going into this week, a lot of activity will be crafted out. But then I was really a little bit skeptical with that, and I was really in the right cluster 5 group. But then I think 1 or 2 times some members have tried to engage, but not much activity have been carried out.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think we have cluster 3 in the house. Please raise up your hand. So once you are representing the cluster, please pick up your hand. Then I'm asking you on it. It's difficult for me to locate you on the call if your hand is not up. Cluster 6, can we see your hand up? Then I'll ask you to on it. So I think Blessing is from cluster 3, so take Blessing first. I'll ask you to on it.
All right, good evening, everyone. Show cluster 3. I kind of joined late, but we've really not done anything. Just normal engagement, like we've not really done any formal introduction or something. And I don't know the name. I don't know the name of the group leader. Yeah.
Please find out and ensure that.
Okay, I think I know. Okay, yeah. I know his name.
Yeah, so I'm asking Asfat to unmute.
Good day, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Hafsa Zubair, and I'm the cluster leader for Group 14. Presently, we are yet to do anything because we still have two of our members that are yet
Sorry,
to join the group.
what cluster is yours?
Cluster 14.
14. Oh, that's a bit far from where we are. So we are taking it in order. But anyways, just give the update.
Seriously. All right, okay. We are yet to commence anything for now. So
Are you the cluster leader?
yes, I am. And we have just 30 members there. We are still expecting 2 more to join us, but hopefully we're going to commence something next week. Yeah. Thank you.
Everyone can hear me. I think Collins just went off and maybe it's coming. Let me just wait for him a second or
Which cluster was supposed to go next? Buni Aminu? I've asked you to unmute.
Okay, good evening, Doc. Good evening, everyone. From cluster 7. It's been the same story, though I noticed that the members of the group or cluster are complete. We are 16 alongside Collins, who is the admin, but there hasn't been anything on the group yet. So hopefully, from this meeting and subsequently things will pick up. So I am not the cluster leader, just a member of the cluster. Thank you.
Okay. Cluster 8. Do we have cluster 8? Anyone from cluster 8 in the meeting? Cluster 9? Any cluster 9 in the meeting? Okay, I think they wrote to me, yes. I'll ask you to unmute.
All right, good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
So we've not really done much in our own group. So that's all for cluster 9. So, but I'm not the group leader, but we've not really done much. I'm representing the group here. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. And then we go to Darlington. I've asked you to unmute.
Yeah, good evening, Doc. Good evening, everyone. So I'm also a part
Good
of
evening.
Cluster 9. Yeah, so just
Okay.
like Mutumi said, so nothing much has really happened, just participants or members joining the group. So that's been all. I don't think we've even had to introduce ourselves. So, but I
All
think
right.
quite a number of us have joined already.
Okay, so I think there will be no point to go through all the other clusters because it's going to be the same. But let me just pass the instruction now. If you are in a cluster, as long as you are in this meeting, you are all spread in different clusters. If there is no active cluster leader, take charge. I don't want when we come here next week, anybody should tell me there's nothing happening in our cluster, okay? I'm going to give a task for the clusters. It will be posted in the group. So you make sure that your task is done in your cluster. Like, own it. Don't, at this level of being a mentee in the camp or being a camper, you should already understand the importance of ownership. You own something. You don't wait for people to act before you act. It's not enough for us to come and say nothing is happening in our cluster. What does that even mean? What are you doing? What initiatives can you drive to be able to have an activity in your cluster? I must not have here a task for you before you can be active. Even the very basic getting to know each other. So I'm going to put a task, okay, for the clusters, but that cluster task is going to be something that each cluster will decide what they want to do. And so when we meet next week, every cluster would have a chance to talk within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so don't come here and tell me there is no cluster leader. If there is nobody acting, own it. And I'm going to assign the cluster coordinators. You go straight to the cluster coordinator and own that you are the cluster leader for that week. Okay. All right, guys. We are going to, it's unfortunate we could not hear from Samuel. I know Samuel had prepared his session today, but we are going to take this next week. Hopefully it will be less noisy than it was. I don't want us to spend more time here than now. It's already 11 o'clock where I am. So I wish you all a wonderful week ahead. Till we all win, we are all a work in progress. Bye.
Hello everyone. Can anyone hear me? I think the network is really bad and most parts will bounce out of it for I'm also struggling with network here. So John, can you unmute yourself?